we know that this is, as we just heard in our previous message, for those of you who haven't checked it out yet, it'll be linked down below, part 2, channel messages. This has to do with the metamorphosis. This has to do with our connection to Pluto. But this is what is expanding with this Four of Pentacles shift. And as we found out yesterday, this is our connection from the 4 to the activation of the 3. And 4 plus 3 is our 7 of Pentacles. There's our growth. And this does have to do, guys, with inner child healing. And that's allowing us to come together and use science ascension to have this ascension. And it's being activated during Pisces season. We're having this activation. We're having this completion. And really, this card in the world says it all. Look at that serpent. Look at how she's expanding with the universe. And it's healing from the toxicity through the illusions of the world and the actual toxicity. Remember, we're detoxing within, purification within, so we can purify without. And that's what's allowing us to come together and expand. We're healing from our 8 of Cups. And that's the time we're in. So I feel like it's very important to share this message so we can expand from that. And they've shared with me that death is connected to our 10 of Pentacles. This is where we restore connection through the wheel, through the center point. Death, closure, transformation. No one loves the sight of death. No one loves the sight of the death card in a reading. We spend most of our lives denying death altogether. So when this card appears, it's easy to get frightened and think it's bad. Don't let the drama distract you from the message. Something in your life needs to end. It needs closure. This will happen voluntarily or involuntarily. Either way, you will feel a positive transformation begin after the initial forms of suffering have passed. And this has to do with the templates of old earth dying out in order to create this new world and healing from this to get to this, to create this. And we talked much about that in shadow work, Let Love Grow. Guys, and that was a hard message to share. I really feel like a lot of shadow work was done there at that message during that time. And wow, guys, I just want to do our purification work. And there is going to be a future message as to what is happening here with Venus and Mars and this grand trine with Pluto. Like, there is another message, but I have so many messages, guys. Like I said, they're just pouring out that I'm just gonna like let things naturally unfold at the channel. I don't want to be in control, because I know too many times what that means. That means a crash is near. Now, what activated this new portal, remember, is through the energy, the opposites, this new path, this new doorway, was something that we saw in the 7 of Swords, something we saw within this artificial hack of the Matrix. And it's connected to the 3 of Pentacles. Remember, this is about the 3 of Pentacles and the 4 of Pentacles shift with the connection to the 7. So we're just going to go right here, get these shuffled up, and then we're going to get a few Black Moon astrology cards and get our messages, guys. Thanks for joining in. You know I love you guys. I love you. I know the channel's been lit. It's just been lit. Go where you feel called to go. Heal where you need to heal. Email me if you need to chat. And we remember, we're healing from sexual repression in order to have high vibe sexual expression with love. So sexual repression the creation of lust, templates, and codependency. And we heal, raise the vibes, harmonize in the creation of sexual expression with love. What's natural? This is what's natural. It's connected to our instincts, baby. Okay, let's get a few of the Black Moon astrology cards and just see where we're at. Okay, Sagittarius, I see. Well, we're seeing how we come together. That's connected to this message here. See what pile, guys. I got so many piles of messages. Okay, where are you? Guys, I don't know. I just had the card here, now it's gone. But that is how we're coming together. Okay? Remember, we're going to see something and we're going to act on it with the masculine. And it has to do with Kali, the black goddess of Sagittarius, and the removal of our masks. Literally, our masks. Literally. And metaphorically. Okay, that flew out on the masks. And we have the Grand Cross, the Provoker is here, which makes complete sense. So look, this flew out on top of these cards, so I'm excited to see what we got here. We're going to analyze with Virgo, and of course we're going to expand with Pisces and our belief. And this has to do with our natural patterning, the Fibonacci sequence and spiral, where the masculine and feminine have untwisted it and they're expanding through natural patterns of love with creation and the light. This is connected to channeled messages. So we're being provoked with Pluto transformation. And this is connected to the lunar eclipse. We know the lunar eclipse was also connected to the solar eclipse and our connection to expanding with Sagittarius. So we're having an ending to begin again. What is this ending connected to? What is this ending connected to? That's working with our ancients and ancestors. And we know this grand trine is involving Pluto. Our feelings and expanding with the moon. And we know that's our connection to this new moon. From the new moon till the full moon, we're having a transformation, guys. And you know what? I want to see what it is with some sacred geometry right now. Remember, this is connected to the cycles. We're working with the cycles right here. This is the cosmic cross of transformation. The Grand Provoker provokes us by pushing us and pulling us to transform. This is connected to the creation of our Ten of Pentacles. But and remember too, we're expanding with our expression, with our feelings, and change. This has to do with an acceptance of something, with the choice, with this choice here. We're making an active choice, and we received this message yesterday. And it has to do with working through the earth and with the earth. And I really too believe the removal of our masks to live our truth, our whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And knowing that, as Buddha said, the three things that cannot be hidden for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Okay, what our vitality, energize our whole being. And this has to do with from channeled messages. And we're activating the energy of youth. We talked about this in our first part. The chick. Where's the chick? Guys, the chick is somewhere here, okay? We're having a new beginning, and that's activating our vitality. And then look, we have the rebirth, transformation, reweaving, and reactivating. And that's the gift of what's happening. And that's why we've activated with Metatron's cube. And Pluto. Remember, sex, healing from lust, death, healing from the fear of death, birth, rebirth, and the extremes to find the center point. We had to understand all this. So, energize your whole being. I feel energized, healthy, and well. Vitality has shown up today to remind you of the importance of keeping an active mind and an active body and staying mentally and physically strong. To be able to survive in our daily lives, we have to maintain a certain energy level. When we are refreshed and energized, we are less likely to suffer from mental and physical illness. As we keep our minds and body active and positive, our physical and spiritual templates gain vitality and wellness. The fitter and more active we are, the more endurance we'll have. Guys, so this is where we've activated the masculine and feminine, Venus and Mars. And coming together with Pluto to help us with this transformation. Everything is here. The energies are here. Sacred geometry. The sacred geometry of this is called the rhombic dodecahedron. It has 12 congruent, two figures that are the same shape and size, rhombic faces. It is a duality of one of the Archimedean solids, which is the cuboctahedron, working with the masculine. This particular geometry is seen in the garnet crystal, and garnet is a stone of life, force, and vitality. So, time to take a walk, ride, bike, or swim, practice meditation or yoga, spend time with friends, and laugh. Or find some solitude to nurture yourself within the comfort of your own space. By staying energized and balanced on all levels, we gain a stronger connection to earth and a stronger connection to spirits. The pathway from base to crown opens, allowing for clear channeling while being able to ground spiritual energies into the physical body. And this is connected to the Four of Swords and the alien. And more understanding and expanding from that space and place in those messages, guys. Okay, we shared in part 2. And of course, card numerology number 1. And crystal suggestions: garnet, ruby, Shiva lingam, and pyrite. And that is allowing us to have our rebirth. This is connected to the Seven of Pentacles. Transformation, reweaving, reactivating. My spiritual and physical bodies are reborn and renewed at a cellular memory level. The rebirth card acknowledges your need for transformation by reweaving, reactivating, and cleansing your DNA patterns. It's now time to let go of the old ways of thinking. Release the belief system you have held on to for so long and allow your body, mind, and spirit to shift in accordance with the inevitable changes. As we ride the waves of an increase in universal vibration and frequency, the time we're in, as well as dealing with interrelationships within ourselves, family, and business, we need to keep up with the forever changing shifts that are becoming an everyday occurrence. And boy, are they ever being amped up. If you have noticed an unhealthy change in your way of life, it's time to make the changes now. Sacred geometry. Rebirth brings with it all 8 dimensional frequencies. It represents duality on all levels, male and female. Guys, it's all here. Heaven and earth, light and dark, body and spirit, old and new, belief patterns, which this grand trine is creating for us, our blessings. The creation story as depicted in this card represents the deviation of cells within all of creation. As the cells divide, we see fundamental geometries which contain the all from the Genesis pattern, the egg of life, the flower of life, the fruit of life, and ultimately Metatron's cube. And we know we received that card. It's connected to this. Shared it today. It holds within the 5 platonic solids, which are the building blocks of all of life forms and hold the blueprint of our creation. So the practical application. By adapting to new frequencies and different ways of thinking and doing, we can open up our hearts and new understandings and anchor fully into our body of light to support our inevitable evolutionary changes and shifts. It's now time to truly be conscious of looking after our body. It is the temple that houses our soul. And to make the most of the short time we get to spend as physical beings, we need to watch what we breathe and ingest. And there's our connection to channeled messages in part 2 with that Ace of Cups and the perfume. And understand everything we're in alchemy within our environments. And amping up the healing there. And this is where we're called to go away from what's toxic, what's not for our greater good. But we've been programmed to think we need that in order to live our best life. But we see that it's actually poisoning us, and we need to go back to what's natural. And this is where we heal from the artificial programming of the matrix. The artificial matrix, okay? The hack. And we go back to, you know, flowers, the fruits, you know, high-vibed water. There's so much powerful information within this, okay? And looking after our bodies. And that's why we're doing all this purification work with our lymphatic system, our endocrine system, and our heart and blood. Because we're amping up healing with our bodies. Stay away from toxic substances and be mindful of our emotional state of being. This is also too like television programming we've been speaking about with Pisces. And that card within the Starman Tarot. A more positive mindset will do wonders for your spirit and physical body. It's important to know and acknowledge that our thoughts are powerful. Thoughts are energy, and what we perceive, we create. As our bodies contain around 60% water, we have the ability to change our cellular structure, as water stores memory. This has been proven through the work of Masaru Emoto. And guys, there's many messages coming through. We know that this gentleman showed that how you speak to water, and then he looked at the crystals. If you're not nice to water, it forms one way, and if you're nice to water, if you're negative with water, it forms one way, and if you're positive with water, the crystals form another way. And to, you know, this world, this artificial matrix is crumbling without, and to not get lost in that, to step away from it, to go back to, this is going back to creation and how we are the co-creators of this new world, and how we're coming together to create the higher vibes. And yes, we may, you know, we're seeing what's happening within the outer world, and we may get lost within the lower vibes, but we're not to stay there. We're to shift from there and to add the positive charge, to be the positive charge, to step back and to create anew, and understand that we are the creators. And we're doing this with our mind. Look, if we're feeding in all this negative energy into the collective, we're going down. If we start feeding in the positive charge, we're going up. But it's not to say we're not going to experience and grieve and feel that negative. But we need to shift it. We need to have a metamorphosis with it, a rebirth, a transformation with it, to create this. And this has to do with being, you know, holding tight with your path, holding tight with your relationship with the divine and what you've been shown, your higher vibe visions, and believing in love, believing in faith, believing in our mission, believing in the fact that we're here for a reason, believing in love and these expansions with all of life. Okay, we have all of life with us. So it's time to create a more harmonious lifestyle by eating more healthfully, exercising, and changing our way of thinking and meditating. Card numerology 44 or 8, and look at that. 44 is a manifestation number through mastery, and we're mastering, you know, self-mastery, as well as we're mastering crafts. We're mastering, you know, craftsmanship, holistic healing, astrology, and anything that you're being called to, you know, these patterns of symbiosis to heal with all of life and expand from all of life, and to heal from these virus patterns, okay? And number 8, we know, is our connection to creation, destruction, the infinity symbol, and we talked about that in part 2. So, crystal suggestions: diamonds, Tibetan quartz, selenite, singing quartz, and a platonic solid set, which I have one of those right here. I'm spoken about this. She's showing, I don't know, I'm missing a couple pieces of, because guys, I'm always carrying them around in my pockets, and I already have misplaced a few of them. And this is, of course, rose quartz. So I need to ask the universe to help me call them back, guys. Help me to help me call them back. Okay, let's get our last message. We're going here. The sacred cycles, as above, so below. I feel like just getting an extra shuffle. Okay, this has to do with our grand trine. Hello. Mexican sunflower and cervix. With passion flower. And sunflower, we received this message. It has to do with working with our breath and creation. The cervix, I know what is best for me. Acting as a sacred boundary and gateway, the cervix protects the sanctum of the womb space. Located at the end of the vaginal canal, it shifts positions and shape throughout the hormonal cycle, expanding, contracting, releasing fluids, and adjusting as needed to the sacred body's energetic experience. This threshold invites you to acknowledge your boundaries and edges of comfort. It's time to consider the relationships, contracts, and connections in your life. Find clarity around who and what is rooted in integrity, and where your trust has been earned or broken. With this comes the balancing act between safely de-armoring the blockades constructed from fear or trauma, and empowering our own disconcernment. And this is connected to working with Pluto, our transformation, and healing from the extremes. But as you can hear, and it's through change, experiencing the change. The cycles. This process is slow and steady, no need to rush. Allow yourself time and space to connect with the wisdom of the inner boundary and apply the guidance to your experience. A journal prompt, guys, if you want to write in your journal: where in my life and with whom do I need more or fewer boundaries? And this is moving us forth. Guys, we have 31 and 32. And guys, I've shuffled these cards and used them. Okay? So we're connecting here. So here we're working with plants. Remember, we're blossoming. Passion flower, I am courageous. Passion flower invites you to acknowledge what is new and unknown within you, gently unfurling to climb. and wind way to new heights. In the world of herbalism, passion flower is an ally for soothing the nerves and helps to unwind the fixated mind. Witness your inner dialogue and access whether certain repeating thought patterns truly serve you. With its outer worldly blossoms, passion flower teaches you that each new adventure may begin with mystery as you navigate toward new possibilities. This flower friend holds you within the realm of infinite potential and asks you to cultivate your courage. You can find inspiration in its ever-reaching vines, in the ways they twist and twine beyond many obstacles in pursuit of growth. It is time for you to reach towards uncharted domains and beyond the spaces you've grown used to. Journal prompt: where in my life could I use a bit of courage to ensure I continue on my spiritual growth and journey? And guys, this is being able to use your instincts and to expand and have this natural growth with, remember, heart-mind connection. And this even, happened to me within my universe. I had someone come to me that I had connected with, but they didn't understand boundaries. And they were, a friend, and I was speaking of my boundaries, and I was very open with my boundaries, and they didn't honor them, and I ended the friendship. And rather than feel lower vibed, I felt higher vibed for protecting my boundaries and my energy and myself. And then I knew we just weren't in alignment, because remember, we're calling in what's in alignment for our greater good. Okay? Where are we going, guys? Where are we going? Okay. We're expanding from the South Node, our life stats, and we're going to face what we need to face with our life stats. The South Node, where are we going from the South Node? So we're going to use our experience, our age, our wisdom, and we're going to use Black Moon Lilith. She knows how to destroy in order to create. We're going to destroy what no longer serves us, okay, guys? This has to do with boundaries and high vibe love, going from old templates to new. All these things we came here to heal from: lust and codependency, well, everything we talked about in part 2, to create this higher vibe, divine love. It's natural. It's naturally connected. And there it is. It's naturally connected through harmony, through patterning, through the Fibonacci sequence and spiral, through the rhythms of creation. This is it, guys. Lit. I love you. I love you. And this is just what a miraculous time. And if you're really feeling overwhelmed without, just look at all of this other stuff. Just look at all these other things. Remember, find the balance, okay? Pull away from the lower vibes and be in the creation of the higher vibes through the center point. Love, light, and healing energy accentuated creative today, guys. I look forward to seeing you again next time when we expand. Until then, I'm sending it to you. Those good healing vibes, guys. Take care.